All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're covering Section 6.5, Commercial Customer Handling Rules. Now, this is your playbook for landing and keeping our most valuable clients. We're not just talking about answering the phone here. This is about building long-term business. So let's dive in. So first things first, I want to ask you a question. Is every single customer call you take the same? The answer, as you've probably guessed, is a huge no. And really understanding why they're so different, well, that's the key to handling our most important clients like a pro. And this right here really lays it all out. You've got two totally different worlds. On one side, you have our residential customers. They are thinking about their home, their comfort, and they often need some reassurance. But on the other side, the commercial customer. They're thinking about one thing, their business, revenue, operations, uptime. For them, a broken piece of equipment isn't just an inconvenience, it's money walking out the door. And that brings us to why these commercial calls are such a high priority. Think about it. These callers are businesses, restaurants, offices, warehouses. When their equipment goes down, their entire operation can grind to a halt. This isn't about feeling a little too warm or too cold. It's about business survival. That's why these calls absolutely have to be at the top of our list. And the value here isn't just about one service call. Look at this chart. A commercial client means repeat work, it means bigger jobs, and ultimately, it leads to long-term relationships. When you handle that first call perfectly, you're not just booking one job. You're basically securing a steady stream of future work for the company. So to handle them the right way, you've got to get inside their head. You really need to understand the business mindset. What is that person on the other end of the line actually thinking? What do they truly want from you? It really just boils down to this. What they want is simple. Speed, clarity, and reliability. They need to know we can fix their problem and they need it done fast. What they don't want is just as important. No long, drawn-out conversations. No emotional hand-holding. They're busy, they're stressed, and they just need a solution, plain and simple. So, listen, if you remember only one thing about the commercial customer's mindset, make it this question. This is what they're asking, whether they say the words or not, from the second you pick up that phone. Your entire goal during the call is to answer this question for them. Okay, so now let's get into the playbook. This is the how-to. How do you project that confidence and control you need to answer their big question? Let's walk through the exact steps you need to take. How you come across on the phone is absolutely everything. You have to sound confident and experienced, like this is the 100th time you've handled this exact problem. You got to move quickly, keep the call structured, and more than anything, show them you understand their urgency. Your tone alone tells them if they've called the right place. Now, our booking philosophy for these calls is a super simple 3-step process. Step 1, confirm we can handle their specific equipment. The second you get that confirmation, boom. Step 2, move straight to scheduling. Then, step 3, keep it simple and avoid asking any unnecessary questions. Every extra question, every extra step just creates doubt in their mind. Now, moving quickly doesn't mean being careless. You still have to collect all the essential information you see here. The business name, what kind of equipment it is, and of course, their operating hours. You don't want a text showing up to a locked door. And this is huge. Confirm who the right contact person is and if they're the one who can actually approve the work. Getting these details right the first time saves everyone a massive headache. And the one thing that ties all of this together is your communication style. It needs to be direct, it needs to be clear, and you've got to be respectful of their time. This is not the moment for small talk. It's all about professional, efficient communication that gets the job booked. Okay, so now let's flip this around for a second. Knowing what to do is half the battle, but knowing what not to do, that can be even more important. These are the mistakes that can lose us a high-value client in just one phone call. The number one absolute biggest mistake is treating a commercial call like it's a residential call. The pace is all wrong, the tone is too casual, and it just completely misses their need for speed and efficiency. Honestly, this one mistake is pretty much the root of all the others. And this one follows right behind, moving too slowly and asking questions that don't matter. You know, every question about their day or the weather is just wasting their time and sending a signal that you don't get how serious their situation is. Stick to the absolute essentials. Look, when a restaurant's walk-in freezer is down, that's not just a minor problem. That could be a $10,000 loss of food. If you fail to recognize that financial urgency in your voice and actions, you lose their trust, and you lose the job. It's that simple. If you sound hesitant, if you say things like, I think we can do that,
They hear that hesitation loud and clear. It completely shatters their confidence. They need to believe you're the expert who can solve their high-stakes problem, and confidence is just non-negotiable.
And finally, don't overcomplicate the booking process. The goal here should be a straight line from their problem to a scheduled appointment on our calendar. A confusing or complicated process just makes our whole company look disorganized and inefficient. So, avoiding those mistakes will definitely get you on the right track. But the real goal here isn't just to book one job. It's about turning that first great interaction into a valuable, ongoing business relationship that lasts for years. You have to see every single one of these calls as the potential start of a partnership. The way you handle their emergency repair today is what decides if they call us for routine maintenance next month or a full system replacement next year. Every single interaction is building that relationship. And that long-term trust, it's built on these 3 pillars. They need to know that every time they call, they're going to get the same consistent professional service. That reliability is what turns a first-time caller into a loyal long-term client who wouldn't even think of calling anyone else. So let's bring it all together with the final principle. If you walk away with nothing else, remember this. Every action, every word on a commercial call has to be guided by 3 things: speed, clarity, and reliability. That is the heart of this entire playbook. Because at the end of the day, this is the feeling you want to leave them with. When that business owner hangs up the phone, they should be thinking to themselves, okay, these guys get it. They know what they're doing. I don't need to waste my time looking anywhere else. That right there is the gold standard of a successful call.